Okay, hello everyone. So in this session is completely focused on the troubleshooting I did from so that I could use MCP server, the Slack MCP server. So basically, in my previous session, I was trying to do, and I thought it would be pretty straightforward. That from Claude Code, I was trying to access the MCP server or Slack so that I can read messages, I can check send messages directly from my one Claude terminal. The benefit is like if I have multiple MCP servers, so like if you see right now in my um, setting, I only have one server MCP, which is Gmail, which is the one I built. So in one of my sessions, I built a separate piece of code which will access my Gmail and which will get some, my emails, high priority and stuff like that. So now I'm going to connect to Slack, but Slack has an already pre-built MCP server, so I don't have to write one. So that's the one I was trying to do, but I hit lot of issues. So I want to, in this session, I want to summarize all of those and kind of, it's a kind of a troubleshooting session. And this seems to be a very popular, like something that's not many people have tried, and it's like something ongoing which needs a fix. So I thought that I will just cover it. So now if you see, I need to have, so as per the documentation on Cloud Code page, if you want to simply add any MCP server which is already available, you just do Cloud MCP add Slack dash transport HTTP and the endpoint. So since I'm already in Claude, I might have to do, like on the terminal, but I'm just giving it. So this command requires approval. So it's going to still add it. So now once I do this, um, it's added the MCP to my local config. It has modified my Claude.json. So that's where it has all the MCP. Now it says that now if I do MCP, okay, I might have to restart my, let me restart it. I might have restart my Claude. So if I do MCP, so if you see here, the Slack is here, but it is disabled. So now the next thing is I need to authenticate to Slack. So that is where my problem started. So because to authenticate, right, first it is disabled, so I'll enable it, and then I will go back there and I will authenticate. Now if I have to authenticate, so what I need is like a token. But between Claude and Slack, this is an open issue, it's an open bug until Anthropic fixes. I am getting this error which says SDK auth failed, incompatible auth server does not support dynamic client registration. So let me show you what it's all about. So basically this is my Claude, and I'm trying to have this MCP server added to it so that I can use this, it's one of the tool in my toolbox, and it will only access the slack.com, my app, not like whatever I allow it. So I simply did this and I'm authenticating. The problem is error is incompatible auth server, right? So basically what the problem is that the Slack's OAuth server does not support DCR, which is called dynamic client registration. But Claude Code requires the DCR for any HTTP based MCP servers, right? So this is a known bug which is affecting other, like Claude Code Cursor and other codes. So you cannot use the simple authentication OAuth method. So that's where I started. So then what else can I do, right? So then I went ahead, tried to figure out. So let me so I was trying to see what all are my options. So I just want to go over that, right? Now so as this is a so first option is use Claude.ai web. So now I can use Claude.ai, but I need to have a team enterprise plan, for the Slack to for this to work, because the Slack connector works out of the box in the web interface. I don't need any token or anything. It's pre-registered. But I don't have a team. I don't have like a pro plan for Slack. So either I buy that and then it will work. The other option is I can set up an MCP remote as a proxy for Cloud Code. MCP remote works as a proxy. So I tried this also. I don't want to repeat it, but I did try this in my previous session. So basically what this is doing is I need a client ID and a client secret. So this client ID and client secret would come from my app. So if I go to my Slack app, I can get these two. And I had tried this, but I was still getting the same error because it still uses the DCR. So the third option was to actually use the bot token, and this is something according to all documentation should have worked. So what this is so use a local studio Slack. So there was another thing. So if I go to my Slack, I usually, I mean, I am subscribed to multiple Slack channels, but most of them I use as a DOK ambassador, but I am not an admin. So if you're not an admin, then it's also not possible. You have to work with the admins because they won't allow this bot token, because I have to go and allow all these scopes, and I have to then, the workspace and app, I should have access to do all this. So I could not do it. So for this, I had actually created my own workspace in Slack just as testing purpose. And then I created my own app there. And then I went to creating new app exactly from here, and I allowed all these bot token scopes in it. Then I did a bot. I got this auth token also, and I added it to my mcp.json using this command. So basically, and it also needs a team ID, which you will get when you hit Slack. So two things are needed: bot token and Slack team. So both of these things also I tried. So I went to slack.com. If you see, I might have it somewhere. Uh, if you see, I've got slack.com. So this was my workspace. I had created a fresh workspace. So if this is the one which I could not work, so this is the Claude MCP test which I tried, and in here I want to use it in the browser itself, Slack in the browser. So this is my team ID. If you see, this is the one after the client. So I gave the team ID and I got my token from the OAuth and permissions, but I still was not able to connect to Slack. So I'm still at that stage, but I wanted to go over all the, steps and then whatever I face, so that this is when there's something, when this gets fixed by Anthropic, then I'm going to retry it. But that's where I'm stuck, right? So I'll continue to show. So basically, I got my team ID from here, which starts with T0, and now I have my OAuth tokens, but I am going to reinstall just to make sure that I have. So I gave it the right scopes. So if you see over here, I have those scopes which was mentioned: channel history, channel read, chat write, and users read and reactions. These are supposed to be the OAuth scope. And then I am going to just make sure that my Claude MCP test app has proper access. So I'm going to allow it, so that my token, I have defined the scope, and then I'm going to grab my token and retry it. Although it failed, but I want to just put it on the video so that when I come back and fix it, So this is my bot user or token which was recommended, right? And with the right permissions, I have it. So now I'm going to go. So now this, if you see here, right? So this was my, the next step is basically now I have to add using this command: Claude MCP add dash dash transport studio Slack, because it requires npx, and then I have to set these in my mcp.json. So if I do so uh, and this is my team ID. So there is an mcp.json, but I only have one server, which is my Gmail server. So let me put it here first, and I'll do this here, and then I'm going to change my team ID. I added it in my MCP, which is in the same folder. So now I want to authenticate, but before that I want to just do this one, this one, Claude MCP add. So I'm going to just do this. Yes. So it says already configure. I think I went through this last time, so I might have to remove. I might have to do remove. mcp.json to back, and then I will do remove Slack. Yes. So it removed it from Claude.json, and then now I will redo it. Um, so it will re-add it to my Claude.json. Now it says that it has been successfully added. Now you will need to set token and team ID. Yes, I'll do that. I'll reset my token and team ID, and then you may need to restart the conversation for the new MCP tools to become available. So I'm just going to restart to make sure, that it, it's taking it now. If I do MCP, so I see Slack, right? It's still failed, and if I try to reconnect it, I still keep saying it still keep giving me this error, failed to reconnect to Slack. So I went, I did all the steps. I did the bot token, but there is still some issue, and it's not allowing me to connect to Slack. So that's what I just wanted to share where I am and all the troubleshooting I did. So while I did all that, so there is, and I was exploring, there is, so if you do like this, there is also a install Slack app. I was exploring other options. I did a debug, it didn't really help. And then I was looking for more stuff. So there is a install auto, it's already available, install Slack app, and there is install GitHub app. So that's what I'm going to try. So it says install Slack app. As soon as I did it, it opened an installation page in the browser, which is this one. This is basically, if I add it to Slack, it has to be so it has to, it's kind of a giving a permission, uh, so I have to log in using my Slack ID. No, I don't do this. So here I have to allow, so this is my, the one that I'm doing. So it recognized man, I'm going to allow it. So this is my MCP test. So once I allow it, so Claude is installed. Close this window, return to Slack. So now this is the other way. So in the Slack, I will see Claude. Find Claude in the app section of the sidebar. Click on Claude to start chatting.